Hi everybody, it's Kristen with Hasta Cielo y Mas, and I have been tagged by the beautiful and wonderful Grace Gets Gastric for a tag about my weight loss journey. So I'm here today. It is October the 2nd, 2018. I'm here today to kind of give you an overview of where I have come from and where I am going. So I have just gotten back from Seattle. I went with Joni from Smile and Shrinking to Alaska on a cruise, and we had a really good time. And so I'm going to be answering some questions and maybe putting in a little bit of background from the past month because I have been a little bit MIA for a host of reasons, and I may be talking about that a little bit during my video today. So the first question is, when was your surgery? My surgery was December the 13th, 2016. The second question is, sorry guys, need glasses, getting old. What is your favorite physical asset regardless of weight? I'd have to say my eyes, although I'm not really loving them too much today, but I actually had facial paralysis on this side of my face a couple of years ago, and now my eyes aren't equal. They're not symmetrical, and that bothers me. I'll get into that in a little bit, but yes, historically, my favorite physical asset has been my eyes. What size clothing did I start at? When I began this weight loss journey, if you will, I was a very tight 5X, probably a 6X. I had some 6X men's t-shirts, but I really could only wear the very stretched out 5X. And I was beginning to need to look at specialty online shopping for clothes because my clothes did not fit anymore. I no longer fit into the clothes at some of the standard local shops that I could shop at. The next question, number 4, is what was your favorite food before and after surgery? So I've always loved ice cream. I love cakes and cookies and those types of things. I like food that just tastes yummy. Carrot cake, a big favorite. Craig's Crazy Carrot Cake from the Cheesecake Factory, big favorite. But I don't eat those anymore. I can't eat those, or when I do eat those, I don't feel well. So we'll get into that a little more in a bit. But my favorite food post-op is very well prepared protein with butter. So lobster with butter, crab with butter, steak with butter, anything that is well prepared for me and with butter. What has been your biggest NSV? So I'm nearing I just passed the 2-year mark on this journey because I did start in August of 2016 using the ketogenic diet. My biggest NSV in the past 2 years would probably be my cruise because I do have a severe vestibular condition, and I really wasn't sure that that was going to ever be an option. Other NSVs, of course, flying without a seatbelt extender. Sex is better. So there are some other NSVs. Just being more active, more mobile, having better mobility. Let's see. Can't even read my own writing, guys. Sorry. What week video of yours was your favorite? I did think about this a little bit, and I'm going to say my first video was my favorite because I'm grateful that I had the courage to join this community. It has given me so much. There's no words to describe what the YouTube weight loss surgery community has given me. So I'm just grateful that I found y'all and that I joined y'all. So that's my favorite week. Number 7, what was your highest and lowest weight? So most of you know that I don't know what my highest weight was because I could not be weighed on traditional standard scales, and I avoided the doctor like the plague. But my high weight was probably approaching 500. It was definitely over 450. I probably, for the majority of the last 25 years, have hovered between 400 and 500 pounds. So that's my highest weight. My official high weight, golly, guys, I don't remember what I normally use, but I think 435 is the high weight I used from my first bariatric consult. Gosh, I haven't made a video in a while. My surgery weight was 371. I lost 64 pounds with the ketogenic diet before my surgery. What was my lowest weight? My junior year in high school, I got down to about 196. Definitely was under 200 for a breath. But I didn't stay there very long. In high school, I hovered between 220 and 240 probably. And in college, of course, I gained lots of weight. And by the time I got out of graduate school, I was probably 350 to 400. And I've pretty much been that weight since 24 years old. My lowest weight on this journey, I had plastics at about 258. I got down to 248 post-plastics before my kidney stone. I changed my diet drastically after the kidney stone. I have not enjoyed the diet change, thus I've gained some weight. I went on my cruise at about 258 and I am currently at 263. I weighed today for the first time basically in a month. I have not weighed. I did not weigh after the cruise. I was at Joni's and I could have weighed because I weighed before the cruise there and I weighed about the same at her house that I did at my house, but I did not weigh there. I have been making some changes. I'm happy and excited about the changes I'm making. They started yesterday. I am participating in the Rachel Hollis Last 90 Days Challenge. This is a challenge that is very, very well known. Many of you know Rachel Hollis. You've read her book, Girl, Wash Your Face. I've been listening to her podcasts and her messages on YouTube, and I've been really devoting a lot of time to joining this Last 90 Days community. I highly encourage it. Basically, the premise is that you will make some pretty big changes in the last 90 days of the year so that come January 1st, you don't need to make those major changes at the beginning of the year. You've already implemented them and they've become a habit. Exercising 30 minutes a day, getting up an hour earlier every day for time for yourself, and increasing water intake and giving up one food item and sticking to it no matter what. So the food item I'm giving up is ice cream. I should be giving up a whole lot more things, but and it's probably an easy one because the reason I like ice cream so much is because it's stinking hot where I live and we're just finishing summer. But I'm just gonna give up ice cream for right now, and it's kind of the area I really just don't want to think too much about because I've got so much writing on this upcoming urine analysis test that I'm going to be going through to kind of determine how I'm doing with my low oxalate diet. So anyway, when was the last time I was at a healthy weight? I was almost 9 pounds at birth. I have never been at a healthy weight. I believe I was over 100 pounds at 5 years old. And by the age of 12, I was full grown, size 12 shoes, full height, 5'8"-ish, and 200 pounds by age 12, for sure. I remember being in a 16, 18 in elementary school. So, that never been at a healthy weight. What is my goal weight? 200 pounds, I guess. I probably won't hit that before lower body plastics. I'm thinking if I can get to 210, 215, that I will approach Dr. Salceda and say, I think I've hit my limit. I think I'm done. I do really struggle with the mental aspect of can I even get to that weight? Long story, But anyway, that's where I'm at with that whole goal weight idea. How do you feel your relationships are or were before and after surgery? How have my relationships changed since surgery? I am more mobile. I am more active. I am desiring to be less of a hermit. However, my vestibular condition still dictates a lot of that. I feel like I'm probably a better mom and a better wife, probably a better friend. I have more energy. I think I'm willing to do things that I was retreating from. And I think I was retreating because of my size and my energy. And now I'm not retreating as much. Um, Overall, and I don't know if where this necessarily comes from, this question, or where it's expected to go, but I will say that I have two very close family members, and I'm going to go ahead and just say who they are. My brother and his wife, whom I'm extremely close to, that we all had our surgery at the same time. And I will say that had we all not had our surgery at the same time, I think there would have been maybe jealousy, contention, issues, problems, whatever. But we live very close to one another. We spend a lot of time together, and we have really been able to encourage one another to the best of our ability. We all have our struggles, and we have similar struggles. So I'm grateful that the three of us had our surgery at the same time. So weight loss and relationships are complicated. I have not had to deal with a lot of the complications that others have had to deal with. What is your favorite exercise? I have difficulty with exercise. Most of you know I talk about it a lot. I do water aerobics. I'm looking for other options, but I have not found very many that have been successful. I did actually walk a 5K at my kids' open house at high school the other day, and I did actually walk over 14,000 steps in Juneau, and I think Victoria, British Columbia. I walked over 14,000 steps. I walked on about 10,000 in Juneau. So yeah, I do like walking, but to walk long distances, I really feel much safer with my walker, and I don't typically tend to use my walker around my own community. I tend to use my cane, which limits my mobility. So a lot of mindset things that I'm dealing with. Do you ever regret your decision? Number 12. This summer, I actually had some time where I did regret my decision some, when I had a giganormous kidney stone that I feel is related to the bariatric surgery. I kind of did regret my decision some this summer, and I think that kind of put me on a bad path that has led to some weight gain. So yeah, not very often, but a little bit this summer. 13, what kind of surgery did you have? I had a traditional duodenal switch, but I did not have the Hess method. I did not really research my surgery as much as I should have. Pre-op, I knew I wanted 2 anastomosis, but I was not a stickler for my common channel length, and I allowed my doctor to make that decision really without my input. So I have a common channel, I believe, of 125 or 150. It's about double what my friend Joni's is, and I think that had I chosen to go with a shorter common channel and been a little bit more adamant about what I wanted, I think I probably would have had greater weight loss. However, I perhaps would have had other issues as well, such as malabsorption and malnutrition and those types of things. So I try not to think about that too much. I do feel really great at my current weight. I would feel better with about 30 or 40 pounds off of me. And so it's my choices, my daily walk, my daily lifestyle that I'm needing to work on right now to make sure that I can try to strive for those goals. Am I a dumper? Not exactly. I have a sleeve plus a intestinal reroute. So the issues I have are more potty problems, excess gas, um, stinky potty issues. Those happen. I've never not made it to the bathroom ever. That's never been an issue for me. And generally, if I watch what I'm eating, I don't have great problems. When I eat keto, I do better. When I eat low carb, I do better. Right now, I'm eating way more carbs than I ever had been. I'm not even tracking right now, which is really, really odd for me. On the cruise, one of the days we had no internet access, and so my fitness pal didn't work, and I lost my streak, and I got frustrated, and I stopped using my fitness pal. And right now, I'm actually enjoying not using my fitness pal because I just have a lot of things that I'm working through right now. Do you think you were addicted to food? I don't know if I would call it a food addiction. Probably yes. Definitely, I had crazy issues related to food, like still do. For example, if I want to eat something that belongs to me, I don't want anybody else to eat it up before I can have it. But other issues are, I do a lot of mindless eating, a lot of, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't satisfy, I didn't like that, try something else. Thank God for restriction. But yeah, it's hard to say. I definitely haven't felt like I've had any transfer addictions. And yeah, I don't know. I probably do have an addictive personality. I have avoided things in the past, such as shopping, uh, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, etc., because I don't ever want to get addicted to anything like that. Um, I put great big hedges around my marriage, stuff like that. Has anyone not recognized you? I have a very limited circle community. So when I haven't seen someone at all, they recognize me and they're like, "Oh, you look great." But pretty much, I'm seeing the same people on a regular basis. So definitely that hasn't happened to me. Am I a happier person? I was happy before. I'm a pretty happy person. I never really struggled with being sad or depressed because of my obesity. Um, I became sadder when my mobility was impaired because of my obesity and because of my vestibular condition. But uh, I've never been on antidepressants or had depression related to my size. Am I happier now? I am thrilled that there are things that I can do now that I couldn't do before. I'm thrilled that I can find clothes easier. I'm thrilled that, I'm not as limited as I was. But, I still have great struggles, and mm, those still prevent me from living my best life, if you will. Who are people you have to watch every week? You guys, I've been here for a couple years now, and there are lots of people that I watch because I don't have a job. I could practically be a professional YouTube viewer. However, I would say that the person that I'm like probably the first one to catch her video, besides Chella, sometimes I'm definitely the first one to catch her video. The other person that I'm the first to catch their video, Lisa, Friday mornings, Saturday mornings, and perforce Zanita. And of course, I'm always thrilled to be one of the first to see Joni's videos. Smiling Shrinking. So I love you all. I love you all. I watch you all. I try not to ever miss a video. I probably subscribe to, goodness, probably 125 of y'all. And then there's people out there that don't make videos that I really wish would. And you guys know who you are, so I'm not going to shout you out. But Anyway, and then Grace is just such a beautiful addition to our community. And I had the great pleasure of meeting her in Seattle a couple weeks ago. And so, yeah, that's my answer for that one. What are some of your non-scale goals? Plastic surgery, lower body plastics, more travel. I really enjoyed my trip to Alaska. And just maybe trying to find ways to be a more active member of my community. I was never one to hole up and stay in my house, and now pretty much that's all I do. And for those of you who know me in person, you know that it's not really my jam to be at home. So yeah, definitely to be a little bit more active. I've hit the 20-minute mark. I apologize for that. There's 20 questions. I'm really sorry. So the last one is, are you addicted to the scale? Early on, I definitely was weighing frequently. I think this summer I've had actual scale avoidance, which I never really thought I would get to. But you know what? I'm reverting back to my old habits, mindless eating, ice cream, those types of things. It happens, and I'm reverting back to when I couldn't weigh or didn't weigh. And guys, I went years without weighing. I had no idea how much I weighed. So I need to be strong and be bold and not avoid the scale. I actually forced myself on the scale today. Forced myself because not that I really felt like I had gained a lot, because my clothes were fitting fine and the same. But just that fear of, oh my gosh, I've got to lose 15 pounds to get back to where I was. I was just not ready to deal with that. I've had a lot going on since I got back, and I apologize for being MIA, but I've had a lot going on, a lot, bad stuff. And then the good stuff is my kids have just gotten their driver's permit, all three of them. So yeah, that's really exciting. Just a lot going on. So anyway, that's the end of my tag. I'm not going to tag anyone, but I'd love to see a lot of these. I'll go look for them and see if they're there. But I do want to thank Grace again for tagging me. So hope to see some more of these, and this was fun. Take care. Bye.